Welcome to another episode of Merge Extra. Today we have Abeer Sultan. She is an executive manager at the vice chairman and managing director's office at WJ Towell. And she's a board member of a number of organizations. I'm actually going to have her tell you that because mashallah, it's a long list and I'll have to be reading it off. So first, Abeer, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Okay. Can you tell us, before I ask you to introduce yourself, can you tell us what you're a board member of?
So I am board member of Dar al-Ata charity organization. Mm-hmm. I'm also a board member of Towell Unilever, which is a joint venture with our family business.
Okay.
I sit at the board of Oman India Friendship Association, Oman Turkish Friendship Association, and very recently Oman British Friendship Association.
Okay. Tell us a bit about your background to begin with before we get into your career path and everything. Maybe a bit about the childhood, what you studied, all that.
Okay. So, as you said, my name is Abeer Sultan. I'm an executive manager at the Towell Group, which is family business. I am from the 5th generation of the family in the business as well. I studied, for my bachelor's, I did management and marketing at the American University of Sharjah, where we both studied there.
We both studied
AUSers.
Okay.
And then I did my master's at the University of Manchester. I did it in management of projects.
Okay.
And and I'm working in the family business now.
Okay. How did you get to the position of where you are now in your family business? Executive manager, yes.
So basically, when I graduated from AUS, I think that was 2014. I was not ready to go back to Oman. I was like, nope, it's not the right time to go back. UAE market was booming at that time, and I thought, you know what, there's a lot that I can learn, and I think I can get more that I can take back to Oman.
Okay.
And of course, comparing Oman and Dubai market at that time, Oman relatively a bit of chilled market comparing to Dubai, which is more competitive and at a very fast track. So I decided to work in Dubai. My dad had a condition that if I work in Dubai, I have to work in family business. Okay. Be it, I said, okay, I will do that, because either ways, whether it's family business or outside, I will still learn much more, I think, in that kind of market. So in Dubai, I was like a management trainee for a year. And then my whole stint over there was more like project kind. Yes, management trainee, you get trained in different functions, whether it's finance, logistics, supply chain, but it's more like project based. So I got very interested in that field. And then when I finished my 1 year stint, I was like, okay, I'm still not ready to go back to Oman.
Yeah.
I'm still loving I'm still loving this life. I applied for a scholarship to study at the UK.
Okay.
During that time, there was something called Al-Ba'tha Al-Samia, which is Ba'that Sahib al-Jalala. It was the scholarship from His late Majesty Sultan Qaboos, Allah yarhamah. It was 1,000 students, and it was across 5 years. So they will choose 200 students every year for masters and PhD.
Okay.
I was one of them, alhamdulillah, in 2015. So I went and I did my master's in project management in University of Manchester.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, graduated with a distinction.
Mashallah.
I came back, and again, family business was definitely not my plan. When I studied there, my final project was a railway. So when I came back, I got to know that there was this company that Oman is starting, which is called Oman Rail.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I'm going to work there. And then my ex-boss speaks to me, and then he's like, welcome back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thank you. And he's like, can we have a meeting? Let's discuss your career. I'm like, okay. So I go back, and then we meet up, and he's like, listen, Abeer, I know that you studied this and you want to do this, but how about you work with me? I'm like, no, I don't want to work in family business. He's like, no, work with me for a year. If you don't like it, go wherever you want to go. I was like, okay, let's try that. So I started my work with him.
Okay.
And it was in the FMCG, which is fast moving consumer goods. So I started as a special a strategy implementation executive. Okay. So I was working with the CEO, and it was again project based. I started loving whatever I'm doing, honestly. Okay. Yeah. A year passed, and he was like, okay, so feedback. I was like, I'm actually enjoying it. I'm learning a lot. The exposure that I'm getting from whatever I'm doing was amazing. So then, alhamdulillah, within a year, I got promoted to be a business manager. So I had a division that I was responsible of its profit, loss. I had a team. I had staff working under me. So that was a huge learning exposure for me. Okay. Within a year after that, I got promoted to be a trade marketing manager. So it was within the same FMCG line. Just right before COVID, my current boss speaks to me and he's like, look, I've been hearing about you, your work, alhamdulillah, you're proving yourself. So now as part of grooming the next generation of the family to take more senior roles in the company, I would like you to work with me at the head office, more like shadowing me. So he's the MD and the vice chairman of the entire group.
Okay.
And I want you to work with me, shadow me, be my right hand, and then we'll see how it goes. So, of course, for me, I couldn't say no at that time because honestly, he was always my role model. Okay. My current boss, who's also to happen to be my cousin, is also my role model. So, I couldn't say no. And I don't regret a single moment of not saying no because for me, I was working at only one cluster in the company, which was the consumer goods. When I joined him, my learning curve, it was not a curve or a linear curve. It was actually a vertical from how much of exposure I got. So instead of just working for one cluster, I got to see the real estate, the FMCG, the automotive, the engineering. So meeting with the banks, people from different positions in the country, ministers, undersecretaries. So for me, that learning, the exposure that I got was massive. So I think I would owe to him if I reach at this place today.
Okay. Why were you opposed to joining the family business for so long?
Well, maybe it's a stereotype that we always get to hear that, okay, she joined the family business. That's the easy way out. These kids, they go and study and then they come back. They don't have to hassle and just go to the family business. And then in a matter of a day, they're managers and I did not want to get into that stereotype. Okay, honestly, but then of course the journey was not at all like this. It was the total opposite. I had to work my way up. I really had to work hard.
Okay,
yeah.
My personal opinion is that some of us are born into opportunities, but not everyone will take that opportunity and do something with it and actually work hard. So
absolutely,
that stereotype, as much as yes, it is there, I don't think it should bother whoever is actually willing to work hard.
That's true.
Yeah. So mashallah, when I hear someone like you, to put you in that stereotype would not fit in my personal opinion, yani, because it depends on who you're talking about. But even if, I mean, subhanallah, like in life, there is fairness in how things are distributed because someone might have something somewhere and lack something somewhere else, but there actually is fairness.
Exactly.
So I think, I mean, I don't think there's an issue with the whole.
It is.
But I understand that it's there.
Exactly. It's there, but then you try to avoid it. But honestly, not everywhere it is this stereotype. When you get into a family business, the responsibilities are much more, you're representing your family.
Okay.
You want that legacy of your grandparents, your parents to continue.
Okay.
So in itself, that's a burden on your shoulder.
Okay. So the pressure.
Exactly. You cannot mess it up.
Oh, that actually does sound like it could be more pressure than just...
It is. Honestly, people think that it is easy. You're born with a golden spoon. You're born in a certain family. Khalas, it's easy. No, it's not. If you don't take that pressure, if you don't represent your family well, don't forget it's a society. It's a small society. People talk about it. And then you don't want to be the reason why your family business, which is up here, goes down,
Yeah. About the boards that you're a member of, I think we'll get to the Dar al-Ata last. For now, let's discuss the boards you're on, the Omani British Friendship Association, the Oman India Friendship Association, the Oman Turkey Friendship Association. Tell me about those. How did you get into those and why are you interested? I know you have an interest in joining cultural clubs, She was part of the Omani Cultural Club back in our university. I actually saw your picture. Lana, they have, like, because I later on took on the Omani Club. I was president of the Omani Club.
The legacy continues.
The legacy continues, yeah. But I saw pictures of previous Omani Cultural Club members, and you were there.
Yes.
So I know you're into being in the society. Plus, your Dar al-Ata work. Very clearly, you're into being in society and stuff. But tell me about
It actually started from AUS, honestly.
Yeah, did it?
For me, I always had this love of being, in these events, managing things, being like, I won't say I'm a social butterfly,
okay,
but I do enjoy these kind of activities and events. So when I went to AUS, I was like solo. I didn't have friends and everything, and I was like, the only way to survive is to get into these kind of activities.
Okay.
So I got into the cultural clubs. I was the treasurer of the Omani Cultural Club. I got into being a vice president and then president. And then I got into the student council. So 2 years in student council. 1 year I was the School of Business representative. And in 2013, which was my final year, I was the events and activities coordinator.
Nice.
So that was then. And then here, I think the way it started, it was 2018, where again, my boss calls me. I remember I was at the dentist. And then my boss gives me a call. Back then, he was not my boss. He's just a cousin. Yeah.
Okay.
So he calls me and he's like, listen, Abeer, I need your CV now. So I was like, what is it for? And then he's like, there's a delegation that's going to India to meet the prime minister. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's a delegation of Oman's future next leaders, or like young leaders, and to meet the next generation of India. So it was led back then by His Excellency Qais Al Yusuf, who was the chair of the chamber. Of course, I couldn't say no. And he's like, you're traveling in another 2 weeks. I'm like, okay. So I travel. There, His Excellency Pankaj, during... we were going to meet the Prime Minister, and then he tells me, Abeer, you're the youngest at this delegation. I said, yeah. So you will be the spokesperson of the delegation.
Whoa.
And I'm like, excuse me, you're telling me 2 hours before the meeting to meet the prime minister of 1.2 something billion population.
You're going to be the spokesperson.
Exactly. So then, of course, that where it all started. People started getting, so I started getting recognized. Okay, so this was the young lady who spoke. This was the girl. And then again in 2021, I go to another delegation to India. Led by now he's the Minister of the Commerce, His Excellency Qais. So I go to India, and then it was more like a business to business kind of meetings.
Okay.
So from there, I get a phone call from my boss again, and he's like, someone spoke to me, and they want you to be part of the Oman India Friendship Association. So now you're very familiar and with India and the business in India, and you have more connections. So do you want to join? I was like, yes, of course. That was the first one. And then in a couple of months later, I got a call from Lujaina Mohsen Haider Darwish, and she says, she's with me in the India board.
Okay.
So she calls me and she was like, I want you to be with me in the Turkish board.
Nice.
I was like, why not? I love Turkey.
Who doesn't love Turkey?
A country that I go to quite often. So that where it comes. And then very recently, the British Friendship Association happened again through my boss, and he's like, this is a very prestigious board, Abeer, and I want you to be part of it. And and then of course Towell Unilever happens to be because it's the family business and someone from the family, so they wanted someone from the 5th generation to be part of. One thing that I'm very proud in all of these boards, that I'm the youngest board member.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah. And that's actually a blessing. In the Towell Unilever, I would say I'm the only female from the family and the youngest to be part, and for the first time to be sitting at the board of one of our joint ventures.
For the first time, a woman or the age?
Age, woman.
Both.
Yeah, age and woman.
MashaAllah.
Yes. And from the next generation, because all of these are joint venture boards, there's no one from the 5th generation.
Okay.
So I'm actually very proud of that.
You're the first 5th generation member to be on the board.
Absolutely.
MashaAllah. What does your role entail as the board of the friendship associations?
Friendship association is more of like cultural, more society, more these kind of away from business. So it's like events, delegations that go, very cultural.
Okay.
It's maintaining a relationship between the two countries.
Okay.
I would say, yes.
That's very nice. Okay. Dar al-Ata.
My favorite.
Yes, that's why I'm like, let's get to this last. MashaAllah, you're a very active volunteer member. Actually, that's where we met, despite the fact that, because you graduated from AUS on the year that I joined.
Okay.
We never met in uni. We met at Dar al-Ata event. I think it was the Suwaiq one.
The Shaheen.
The Shaheen, when we were in the Suwaiq. Okay. MashaAllah, what I understood, you've been a very active member since early 2000s.
2007.
After GONU.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, during GONU.
During GONU.
Yes.
Okay. And you've remained an active member to the point where you are now a board member.
Yes.
But tell me about that journey. Tell me about why it was important for you to be part of Dar al-Ata, whether as a volunteer and now as a board member.
Dar al-Ata journey for me started in 2007 when GONU hit Oman. Actually, it was... I know everyone knows it was tough times for Oman. People lost their houses. So many things, we had power shortage, water shortage, food supplies were not there. So they were collecting as many as volunteers to go and help these places. And that's where it all started. Of course, being a volunteer in a charity organization, for me, or I'm sure for everyone, it's a very noble thing. It's a very, very, very sacred thing. The act of giving, being part of this, seeing, it's more of like, it makes you feel humble. It reminds you of who you are. It reminds you to always be grateful. And show gratitude for the things that you are blessed with. And God has created you with, or made you with this much of fortune for you to help the less fortunate ones. So that kept me going. And then, of course, from GONU onwards, the journey started. I was like, I feel happy, the joy and the satisfaction you get from helping others. It in itself is the energy or that fuel that makes you, keep going. So that's where I started. Of course, it was so many events. Then I started volunteering. With time, I started being part of the organizing team. So we organized gala dinner. It was the other events, or basically it was like the Dar al-Ata Eid Expo that happens every year during Ramadan. So I was
my favorite.
Exactly, one of my favorite too. I lose all my money there.
Exactly, me too. But I lose it while I'm happy.
Exactly. And then it goes for a good cause at the end of the day.
That makes it even better for when they accuse me of over shopping. I'm like, it's for a good cause.
Exactly, it's for a good cause. See, that's what you need to excuse. So then it was like volunteering and organizing at the same time.
Okay. This was in what year you started organizing?
I can't remember, but it would be probably 5-6 years after being a volunteer.
Okay.
And then it stayed until 2021 that I was volunteering / organizing with them. And then in 2021, I get a call from Dar al-Ata that we would like to have you as a board member. And for me, of course, it was, wow, you started as a volunteer and today you're a board member. So you're talking about 2007, yeah? So that's 10 plus years. And again, in Dar al-Ata, I am the youngest board member. So for me, that's actually a moment of pride, yeah? Something that I love and you get appreciated. You're a board member of a place that you really love.
Okay, so this is one of the most special to you.
Very special to me. Dar al-Ata is like a family to me, honestly. All of them, I've known them since, all of these members, all of these volunteers, all of these board members, I've known them since 2007. So I grew up seeing them. And of course, it's a board of ladies, so that's in itself is inspirational.
Woman power.
Exactly, woman power. And honestly, Dar al-Ata started with a group of ladies who they are the one who established this whole charity organization.
Okay.
So that in itself, you look at them and you'll be like, wow.
The fact that you're, mashallah, the youngest in all of these things, when I read out what you do and when maybe you shared, I think someone would expect to see someone who is way older than what you are, but then the camera pans to you and it's like someone your age. Mashallah, these are amazing achievements.
Alhamdulillah.
Do you feel pressure when you're the youngest? Or do you feel... Actually, okay, maybe not there. Do you feel pressure being one of the few females in certain places? Like, for example...
Family business.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Do you feel pressure, مثلا, when you're in a meeting? Do you feel any of that thing?
Well, you definitely do, other than being a family member in itself, which is a pressure because you are representing your family, okay, and you want to show it in the best way, whether it is inside the meetings of the company or whether you're representing it outside. Being a female actually is a pressure, especially when you're sitting in a meeting room full of 16, 17 gentlemen, okay, and then you have to speak up. So, let's be honest, we are in a country, okay, that is more dominant or male dominant, or it is how the world is, yeah, it's more male dominant. So for a lady to prove herself, she has to put a bit more effort than...
Okay, and you felt that?
Yes.
Okay.
So for your voice to be heard, you actually need to prove yourself. In any other work organization, how I see it is that it's easier for men, you know, their voices are always heard. Unlike women, they have to be a bit... And if you be a bit more strong, they'll be like, she's bossy, she's...
the nice way of saying it.
Exactly, the nice way of saying it. So, yeah, you do feel that pressure.
Okay.
It is there.
Do you feel you've overcome it over the years?
You feel the pressure, but you move on.
Okay.
So, it's there, but you know that it's going to be there. It's impossible to change mindset. That's the hard thing. The most hardest thing to change is the mindset of people. And we are grown in a way that, okay, most of the senior roles are led by male.
Okay.
Yeah. So it will take time for that mindset to change. So if you keep that in your mind, you will never progress.
Okay.
Okay. And the only way to progress is that just throw it back, do whatever you have to do, and prove yourself.
Okay. So this is the advice you would give to women who are trying to get into these leadership roles?
I don't need to give advice to women, honestly. And to me, how I see Omani women, mashallah, they are one of the hardest working females I've ever known, honestly. If you compare it to other GCC countries, okay, Omani women today, you will see them in every field. Yeah, whether it is taxi drivers, whether it's restaurants, whether it's ministers, cabinet, you will always see that Omani women are there. So they don't need my validation or my advice for them to reach somewhere. They're self-motivated. Exactly. Okay. That's what I know about Omani females, that they're self-motivated. When they want something, they will get it.
That's amazing. Okay. Away from the career side, Shwaya, you're quite into sports, mashallah.
Yes.
Would you like to talk about that? Maybe what sports you're involved in? I know you're into equestrian. Is it
equestrian?
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm not sure how to say the word, so horses stuff?
Horse riding.
Horse riding. You know that. Okay, so you're into equestrian and everything. Yes. Can you tell me about that?
Actually, look, I would definitely say this. I owe it to my mom. Since I'm at young age, my mom did the same with me and my sister. She would put us in every kind of sport available, yeah? So we did taekwondo, we did ice skating, drawing, guitar, karate, be it whatever, basketball. During school days, I was a champion at basketball. I have medals and I'm proud of it. But you ask me today, I have zero knowledge about basketball.
Oh my God. So it didn't grow with you, yani.
Not at all. And I've been also into horse riding. Actually, a large number of my family members were into horse riding at that time.
Okay.
So I got into it, and then that's the only sport that remained with me. Yeah, my love for these creatures started growing. The bond, subhanallah, that bond between you and these creatures is...
Okay. I've actually heard that quite often. Do you actually feel a strong bond with your horse?
My both horses.
Okay.
Now I have two.
Oh, nice. Mashallah.
Yes. So there's that bond. I don't know, unless you try it, you will not understand. But these creatures definitely feel you. And for me to escape from this, you know, the work stress or the life stress, the busy life, my time with the horses is a relaxing time. You know, I spend those couple of hours with them. That's where I get distracted. So for me, in this sport, as I said, I've always been there. But then In 2021, I got into show jumping. So for those who don't know, this is an Olympic sport.
Okay.
And it is part of the horse equestrian world. And basically, it is, you have a certain time limit. And you have to, you and your horse, you have to overcome some obstacles.
Okay.
So it's in different heights. And of course, these are competitions. There are national ones, there are international ones. I didn't compete much. I started my competing journey last year. And then, of course, some unforeseen consequences happened. So I had to be away from the competitions. But I'm back. So starting next week or the week after, I am back into the competitions.
So you'll be competing?
Yes, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
I got my horse in 2021. My chestnut, beautiful horse.
Do you have a name
Capital.
or he?
It's a he.
Uh-huh.
His name is Capital. I did not change their names. Yeah.
Okay.
I kept it as someone told me changing the names is a bad luck, and I don't know why it's stuck here.
I understand because I didn't change my cat's name even though I don't like it.
I don't like the names, but I was like, khalas, I got used to it.
Capital.
Capital. I call him Cappy, so that's fine.
Okay. There's a compromise.
And
Okay.
then this year in May, I got another horse. She's a female.
Okay.
And her name is Deluxe. So yeah, Capital and Deluxe. Anyways, again, I don't like her name, but what to do? I call her D.
No, I like that you found a compromise for each one.
What to do?
Yeah.
And inshallah, I'll be competing with her. Yes. this
Okay.
time.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna. Okay.
So
How do you feel about the upcoming competition?
I'm a bit nervous because this is
Okay.
the first time I'll compete with her. She's a beautiful horse. She's very powerful. But yeah, let's see how it goes. Inshallah, next week. I'll keep you posted.
Please do. Like, I'm actually interested when I was reading up about you and about your profile. This is one of the things I found most interesting because I don't think it's an easy sport.
No, it's not. It's not actually. It's a risky sport. Yeah,
Okay.
you're look like any other sport. You're not dealing with creatures. Here, you're dealing with creatures. Yeah, you're dealing with animals who have their moods. They're not every day the same. Like they're not a machine.
Okay.
So today he's in mood. Tomorrow he's not in mood. Today he's energetic. Tomorrow he's slow. And then you're facing obstacles. So you never know when does the horse will stop. What happens? So you really. It is a risky sport, but that is where the adrenaline comes
Okay, so
from.
you have that adrenaline rush kind of thing. You enjoy that.
Absolutely. That's what it keeps it going, you know?
Yeah.
That's what it keeps it going.
Okay.
And of course, my love for this field, which is, there's something that I want to tell. Of course, I'm not going to reveal, but I found my passion in this sport.
Okay.
I found my passion in this field. So I've decided that I want to do something within this field. Inshallah, 2024 is the year where I will have something for myself within this field, something that I want to make a difference for in the country. I know that Oman has one of the best riders, so why not, like any other GCC country where they reach somewhere, why cannot we be the same? So I want to add my fingerprint in that.
Okay.
Again, being born in a specific family, you earn your name throughout, right? So you're born in that family, you come with the last name attached to you. I thought that within this field, I can have something for my own. Okay, people to recognize me as Abeer, not as Abeer Sultan from a specific family.
Okay.
So Abeer within this field.
So you're doing this in a way to branch out, yani?
Yes. So
Okay.
I want to do it something for myself, something to give back to the country, something to... I want to see Oman progressing in this field, in this sport, and to be placed as any other GCC country.
Okay, that's
So
amazing.
stay tuned. Maybe when we meet in 2024, I can reveal
Oh,
it.
yes. You'll be back to tell us about your your own project.
Yes.
That's
I will.
exciting. Okay, one thing, I mean, I had a question, but I feel like you kind of answered half of it, and I'll tell you my assumption. Tell me if I'm correct.
Okay.
I was going to ask you that so many things you're involved in, mashallah. I was going to ask you how you balance between all of them. One thing I did notice, and I assume that's at least 10% of the answer, mashallah, you love what you do. So I noticed, like, for example, you have a passion for Dar al-Ata and volunteering and all that stuff, and now you're a board member there. You have a passion for horses and you're doing something in that area. You have a passion for... I mean, you said that you actually genuinely enjoyed working in your family business and doing these social events and cultural events and everything, and you're doing things in fields that you love. Is this part of the reason how you're able to do all of this at the same time?
When you love what you're doing, that in itself becomes like part of your life, you know? So you enjoy it. You don't feel, yes, of course you do feel the pressure. And of course you have to do that work-life balance, you know? It's not easy. You have certain hours in a day to do all this, yeah?
Uh-huh.
But then when you love it, you will definitely make time for it. You have time. I always say, yes, the work needs your time, but you need time for yourself as well. So for me, horse riding, all these charity events, all these social events that I do or I get into, this is something for myself. This is something that I enjoy personally as Abeer.
Okay.
Yeah. And my work, I do it. I love it. And that's why, alhamdulillah, my work, you know, talks about me more than I do.
Okay.
And alhamdulillah, I am progressing. I am getting recognized. I am getting promoted. Alhamdulillah. And of course, the other things, as I said, this is part of me being Abeer. That's what made Abeer who she is today.
Okay. MashaAllah, she's an amazing woman. I'm actually, I swear, I'm not like sugarcoating or anything like that. But I'm actually impressed, MashaAllah. And it is motivating for someone, for example, like me to hear you sit in front of me and talk like that. It makes me feel, and I would want to push even harder than مثلا what I feel I'm pushing now.
You know, Liana, a year and a half ago, I think I did an interview with Al Wasal, and I said one thing, and I was like, if I was able to inspire only one girl in this country, wallah, for me, that is like, alhamdulillah, top level satisfaction. When you said this,
you gave me goosebumps because you actually did inspire me, because I have been looking to do a number of different things, but then, you know, life happens, you get involved in different things and you get busy. True. With certain things, and sometimes that takes time away from maybe where your original goal was. You are kind of showing me that you can do a number of different things, especially if you love what you do or you love certain aspects of your life. You can still love that, you can still pursue that, but still pursue something else. Okay. So subhanAllah, I was thinking of this, and you kind of are in front of me as like, I believe that when you have something, God sometimes puts someone in front of you. I feel that this is what you are inspirational to me, at least, you know, and I swear I'm saying this with full genuinity.
I don't know if people can see, but probably my cheeks are turning red.
I don't think so overwhelmed. No, wallah. Okay.
But you know, this is one thing that we women, alhamdulillah, God blessed us, and we are multitaskers by natures, yeah? So we can do so many things at one time. Mm-hmm. We are givers. We are the sisters. We are the mothers. We are the workers. We, alhamdulillah, we need to use these blessings in our favor. You know, God gave us this, so why not? وبعدين, you're giving it back to your country. Something your country gives you, it is your responsibility to give it back. So when you do these little things, you're actually taking your country up, even without you feeling it. That's how I see it.
Okay, I love that you continuously bring up this idea of giving back to Oman.
Yes.
Okay, because it is important. So anything that we do, like anything that we as Omani women should be giving back to our country.
Definitely.
You know, and you brought up this concept. It is very important. I think it's also important for us to raise our kids in a way that we remind them, you are meant to provide and give back to the country that
what is a country without its people?
Exactly.
Yep.
No, and it's a very important concept, and I love that you keep highlighting that. And I love that a lot of what you do is revolved around that, giving back to your people, your country.
Absolutely. You know, that's the most important thing. If you put that in your mind, in itself, it will push you to do the best, you know? That you have to put Oman in your mind the whole time. That whatever I'm going to do for this country. Yeah? This country gave me everything. I need to give it back. And the moment you start putting that in your mind, the moment you start working for it, that's how every nation, every country grows up, by its people. So you have to understand that it is a responsibility, or a hidden responsibility that you have, you know? And then the moment you put that in your mind, that's exactly where you will achieve it. You will work for it. And you will never be like so lazy. Oh, okay, khalas, I have it. I will not do it. No, khalas, I have a responsibility. I have a country. That's how you should think about it.
Thank you so much for joining us. I genuinely enjoyed speaking to you, and I think this will be a good episode.
And I hope I didn't bore you or bore people with
I mean, Okay, I'm in front of you and you really did not bore me, so I highly doubt that anyone would be bored. And
Thank
then,
you so
thank you
much.
very much for joining us.
Thank you.